awesome speaker tonight. So we're going to go ahead and get started. But first, before I introduce our speaker, I have a few things I want to run through just to make sure that we are all on the same page and we are ready to rock the rest of April, because this is a phenomenal month, you guys. I mean, in so many different ways, for so many different reasons. Not only is it like, it's April. So I think everybody in the world is like, dude, in a few months, I got to be in a bathing suit. Like, what, 1 or 2 months for us, like next week? Holy cow, you know what I'm saying? So everybody is thinking like, oh my gosh, yeah, it's getting warm outside. Like the snakes are out, my buns are about to be out, and I should probably start working on them. And I know I'm being silly, but let's be real. You know, people do tend around this time of year to be like, okay, I need to start taking my health and fitness serious. You know, I've let myself go, or I don't have the energy, and we're about to go on vacation. I want to feel good. I want to have energy to actually do something with my kids, not just sit in the lounge chair covered up, you know, feeling frustrated the entire day. Has anyone ever been there? I mean, I've been there before, where I was the mom who was frustrated, right? Give me some, Rachel. I mean, you know, we've all been there. And the beautiful thing is we get to extend our hand and say, girl, I got you. I've been in your shoes. I know what that feels like, but I also know what it feels like to have an amazing group of women who are just straight up real, and they're doing this journey with me the healthy way, and we're going to get you the results that you want so that you can have the energy that you need to live the life you truly want to live, to enjoy your time at the beach instead of dreading it this year. And that's the amazing thing. But you guys, if we sit on our hands, or we overthink and we're overanalyzing and we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing, we're not doing our vitals, we're not sending out our invites, then we miss the opportunity to be the one who can come alongside of them and help them out. So that's why it's so exciting. And to be able to help them at the rate that we can this month with the All Access Challenge Pack at 160, you guys, that is like mind-blowing. I've been a coach for 5 years. They've never had anything like this. Every single program that Beachbody's ever put out, they're about to release a new one. So as someone gets on board this month and they get started, by the time they have got their endurance worked up, they've got this awesome program that's about to be released where they can amp it up and take it to the next level and just shred it out. I mean, it is amazing, you guys, what we can do. So we as leaders have to be forward thinking. We have to be thinking ahead, okay? Not just thinking about the Success Club points this month, but thinking about someone's transformation and how it can be happening, and how we can use this, and how we can help them see further down the road by getting this all access, how we can get them started. And don't get all overwhelmed because you can't do these push-ups or these whatever. No, we're going to keep you progressing. We're going to keep working together all year long. So I love that. Make sure that you guys are not leading with the whole 160 All Access Challenge Pack, but you are leading with your heart and getting to know people where they're at and feeling a need. I still don't lead with the All Access Challenge Pack. I still find a program for them. I ask the questions. I use the same scripts. I talk to them exactly like I would any other time, and I am getting to their need. I'm getting to where they at that fitness level, where they want to be, what are their struggles, and I'm helping them choose a program to get started with, and then I'm letting them know that there's an even better option so that when we finish that program, we can keep going. That's where we need to be, and that's how we need to work with people so that we can not only, you know, help them with this awesome deal, but truly help see them through the process of getting healthy and fit. So for all of you guys who are on the same schedule with Becky and I, our challenge group just opened today. So if you have not signed up for that and you have people that you want to add in, or let's say sometime this week, of course we want them in on Monday, because the reason that we have decided to have a prep week is so that people don't feel so rushed that from the get-go they're like, dude, I'm behind, or I don't even have my Shakeology yet, so I feel like I'm, everybody else is hitting the ground running, but I don't even have my stuff, or I'm not ready yet. So we are taking an entire week, you guys, to make sure that they feel successful, that they understand, they have time to ask questions. You have time to reach out to them and say, hey, do you have any questions? Have you printed out your meal planner? Have you planned what time of the day you're going to do your workouts? All of those great things. So make sure that you go to the post that Becky made about the Spring Into Help if you need to be added and you haven't been added already. And if you have been added, this is your day to add your people. So the next thing I want to talk about really quickly before I pass it over is our sneak peek live. I am super pumped about this. I was just in that group before this call, adding some photos from summits this past summit and everything else. For one, it was pumping me up for this coming summit, and even for this vacation to get to see some of you guys, and just a great reminder of how blessed we are and how amazing this community is, and how exciting it is to think about the new people that we're going to be bringing into our team family, you guys. So make sure that even if you're like, well, you know, it's been so busy, haven't even invited yet, well, go ahead, grab your pen and paper, because I know you guys came ready to take notes from Jennifer, and write yourself a little reminder note after the call. Go send your invites. Period. Go send the invites. Make sure you get people in there. So what we're going to be doing, you guys, I posted today if you need to be added in the group, and I would love everyone to be in there, even if you don't have anyone who said yes to coming in and checking out the sneak peek live tomorrow, because a few reasons. One, I want us to give them a sneak peek into what coaching with Team Wildfire looks like. What is it like to be on your team? What is it like to feel this energy? What is it like to be on our team call, to go to Summit together, to do the wacky workouts and the silly things that we did in that house? What is it like to experience that with us? Well, guess what? If they come in and everybody's going live on video and they're talking, they're sharing their hearts, and there's like no likes, no comments, no hearts throwing up, no thumbs up, no support, then what message is that sending? Like, okay, this team is quiet, they don't support you, they're not going to answer if I have a question. If I go on a video that's scary anyways, no one's going to show me any love. No, that's not what we're about, right? So I want everybody representing. Tomorrow, we are all on deck. In this team, we always say we truly are better together, and tomorrow we're going to show that, right? So make sure you guys are in there, whether you're one of the coaches speaking or not. If you want to share your story, we've already got the page open to share your story. If you're not in there, go to the post that I made today and let me know that you still need to be added, and I'll make sure you get added tonight so that you are already in there. But we want to make sure that we're in there working together, showing each other some love when we're live, or even if later you have to hop on. I know Tracy had mentioned she'll be at work. If you have to hop on later, still show some love, because we're going to leave the group open for a little while, you guys, so that you can still invite people in later, because I think it's going to be an awesome way for them to learn more about what we do. So without further ado, you guys, Jennifer Wood was one of my very first coaches. So before I hand it over to her, I want to give you guys a little backstory, okay? So I used to work at a gym and I used to teach classes, and I was like, okay, before Jennifer started taking my classes, I sucked. I was like the worst, like group fitness instructor. I was before, but I was consistent, which she's going to talk about tonight. I remember no one showing up to my class, and I would go in there and I would work my little booty off and practice in the mirror, okay? Super nerdy, that was me. But no one was coming to my class, and finally, it's like my classes got really popular, and one of my first, like, come every class, die hard, like she's gonna be in the front row, freaking rocking it, you know, pushing the weights or spinning that bike as hard as she could, whatever we were teaching, like she was there and she was killing it. Like she was always big smile on her face, having fun. Like no matter what I said, she was laughing at me. Like she pumped me up. She helped me to become the instructor that I became, because she like was there and she supported me and she believed in me in the beginning. And so when I became a coach, she ended up becoming one of my first coaches on my team and has been with me ever since, through every single up and down. When we talk about true change, we talk about growth. Let me tell you, we have experienced so many crazy things, and we're better for it because we stuck around and we remained consistent and we were teachable and we were ready to grow. And so it is an honor for me to have her speak on the team call tonight, because let me tell you, not only is she super fun and awesome to work out with, but this woman has been married to her awesome husband, Jason, for 17 years. Together, they have two amazing daughters, ages 19 and 14. And you guys, think about this. For one, we need to all congratulate her, because yesterday was her 5-year coaching anniversary. Yesterday, that's amazing. That is awesome. And she has rocked it pretty much ever since the beginning, you guys. 4.5 years as a Success Club, what is it, All-Star Legend. Okay, she has rocked the socks off of that. Talk about consistency and someone who is speaking from experience. This is your girl. So thank you for being, oh, and she is a 2-star diamond as well. So thank you for being on the call, Jennifer. We're excited to take notes and learn from you, girl. I am going to switch this over because I know you have
I have some slides.
a screen share.
All professional and stuff.
All right. I can figure out how to switch it to.
Well, I try not to vomit. Every time I get on camera, I'm just like, ugh. But I will try to calm down. Let me just say, like, just to tell you guys that don't know me that well, is I am so different from who I was 5 years ago. I'll try not to cry, but I was never consistent in anything I did. I always quit. I never followed through. So if you are that person, don't think like I can't do this, because I just took it like in little baby steps. I was like, I can hit Success Club this month, and then I can hit Success Club this month. And I couldn't see that long vision, but I could see a month ahead. Like I could do that. I could handle that. So I just encourage you, like if you look to other coaches and you think I'll never get there, if you just do a little bit at a time, you will get there. So because I'm just a regular hot mess mom. I don't have it all figured out. I just refuse to give up. And I just saw that small goal and I was like, I can do that. And now it's to that point where it's like, I'm not quitting. I quit my whole life. I'm not quitting anymore. And so I know if I give that up, I feel like I just feel like I would fail myself. So anyways, I'm going to go through my slides so I can stay on topic. Let's see. Can you guys see this? No, not yet. Okay, I have to do screen share. Okay, got it. All right. Okay, are we good now? Okay. All right. I'm gonna have to move this. Oh, I'm gonna go back. Okay. All right, so I just want to start out with, we have an amazing thing with Beachbody. We have a purpose-driven mission. 36.5% of the adult population in the U.S. is obese. I mean, that's over 1/3 of America that's obese. And so we provide a solution to these people. And no, not everyone is going to want to join us, but we should be proud of what we offer. We should be not embarrassed, not ashamed. We provide a solution. We help. I mean, you guys know the success stories. So many health benefits, lowering blood sugar levels. Marcy's on here. I know it's helped her. People coming off medication. People able to like get over fibromyalgia because their pain levels from excess weight, and we're changing family legacies. Just by helping one person. And that's something that you have to keep reminding yourself of. And if you haven't helped those people yet, look at the success stories and remind yourself what we are fighting for. So I want you to think of your job as you are offering a solution. And you've probably heard this before, but you're offering a solution just like a server offers coffee. So don't overthink it. Don't prejudge people. Don't make the decision for them. Just invite them to join you. I'm not going to go into invites, but don't be afraid to invite people, and don't take offense. If someone ignores you, if someone doesn't answer you, if someone tells you no, don't take offense to that, because it's not against you. They're just not ready. Changing your lifestyle is a very emotional thing, and people just aren't ready. And a lot of people are skeptical. I'm sure you guys see, like, there's so many people out there selling things, and we all feel like we're being sold. And so, a lot of people, like, they see a new coach come on and they think, oh, this person just wants to make money off me. They don't care about me. They just want to sell me. So just remember, it takes time to build that trust, and that's what we're going to kind of talk about in a little while. But I read this earlier. I think it was in That You Are a Badass book. But she said, don't allow the no's to disappoint you or the maybes to slow you down. And that's so important, because when you're inviting, expect no's, expect people to ignore you, but you're also one step closer to a yes. So just remember that. But you can't slow down. When somebody says that they are going to join, but they haven't done it yet, you have to keep going. Because if you stop and they don't show up and they don't follow through, then all your eggs are in one basket and then you don't hit your goals. So that's something that I've always, I keep going. Even if I think people are going to like come through at the end of the month, I keep going until I've hit my goal. I mean, it's non-negotiable. All right. So your job is basically just to plant a seed in their mind. If you take that wanting a yes out of the equation and you just say like, I'm just planting a seed. I'm just inviting them to join me. I'm sharing my coffee. And you then the rejection is not as bad because you know that you're just planting that seed. And what's going to happen is when you are consistent and you're working on your own journey and you're posting on social media, they're going to watch you and they're going to start trusting you more. And then you are going to be that go-to person when 2 years later, when they decide I'm ready now. Or maybe they work with your friend. I mean, this has happened. Maybe they go and work with a different coach, but that coach quits. And I hate to say this, but some of you guys are going to quit. I'm just going to be real honest. And you have to ask yourself, is that going to be me? Because people quit, and I don't want anyone to quit, but it really is like it just makes me sad to see people give up on their dreams. So don't be that coach that quits. You plant all these seeds and then people come back to work with you and you're gone. So just remember that. It takes time to build a successful business. All right. So I love this quote, suffer the pain of discipline or suffer the pain of regret. I learned that we are hardwired to avoid pain and struggle. Like God made us to where we don't, we want things to be easy and we want to find like a flow. We want to be accepted into society. But that's 98% of the population, thinks that living in debt is normal. They think 9 to 5 is normal. And 2% of the population believes that there is a better way, that we were made for more, that we don't have to live that life. And the bad thing is that 98% of the population wants to pull the 2% back to their side. So when you try to change, they're going to try to pull you back in. They're going to discourage you. They're going to be mean. They're going to tell you it's not going to work. And that's why it's so important for you to surround yourself by people like this team and these team calls and the national wake-up calls and summit and super Saturdays, because you're recharging your battery and you're building that belief system until you're.
Look at this one. I did good on this one. Look at this. I did good on that one.
Hold on.
I don't know how it.
I got it. Okay. Lost my train of thought. I had my flow. All right. What was I saying? Okay. Sorry. Give me a second. All right. Well, so not choosing to work towards your goals is just as painful as the discipline it takes to actually achieve them. I know sometimes it feels like it's not, because like sending invites is hard, but how hard would it be if I had quit 5 years ago and I basically wasted the last 5 years and had not accomplished anything? I would be the same person I was. I would have no income. We wouldn't have paid off. I don't even know how much debt we've paid off. We literally owe $5,500 on a car. We have 2 new cars and we will be debt free except for our mortgage. So you have to choose your hard, because you're going to regret something either way. So I don't know if this makes sense, but we think that what we're choosing is easy. So we're like, I'm just going to work this job because this is what society says, but you can get fired tomorrow. Like there is no guarantee in your job. So there's no guarantee in this business, but I don't know. It just makes sense to me to work this business and go all in and build something so that 2 years later you can look back and be like, wow, look what I accomplished, instead of just wasting 2 years. We're all on Facebook anyways. I mean, I can't be the only one. So anyways, but again, living in regret while others achieve their dreams is painful. So you're going to see other people on this team who are moving forward and they do have a big why and they are fighting for it and they're fighting for their families and they're going on trips and they're spending time with their friends, and you're like in your pity party instead of doing what you need to do. And it's not that difficult. It's just these little bitty things that we're going to talk about, which you already know, but it's doing the small things every day or at least, at least getting them all done in 1 week consistently. But you get to choose. That's the main thing, is you have a choice. So you can stay where you're at, or you can do what you need to do to get to where you want to go. All right, so another favorite quote: commitment means staying loyal to what you said you were going to do long after the mood you set it in has left you. And, it's just like working out. We start a new fitness program. We're super pumped. We're super excited. We're all in for a week, and then life gets in the way and our nutrition's out the door, and we're like, forget it. I'm not even going to do it anymore because I can't do it right, so I'm not going to do it at all. But you have to remember that you're going to have days where you don't feel like it, and you do it anyways. You have to show up, and you have to remind yourself why you started. I mean, life is going to get in the way, and you're not going to be 100, just like workouts. You're not going to be 100% every day. There's going to be days where you're like feeling like crap, and you're posting a motivational quote, and you're just like, I feel horrible. But what helps me is I try to remember, because I do struggle with depression. I'm doing much better right now. But when I'm going through those dark times, I will share the vulnerability, but I will also think, what do I want to do to my followers? Do I want to inspire them? I want to encourage them, and I want to uplift them. And if I'm just like, poor me all the time, I'm not encouraging anyone. I'm just wanting them to feel sorry for me. So if you're struggling with something, just remember that you can encourage someone and you can make a difference in someone's life. So push through the excuses. And the other thing is, if you are having a rough day or it's emotional, and the only thing that you can do, maybe you're on vacation, because we all deserve a vacation, but this is my recommendation, and this is how I've gotten to where I'm at. If the only thing you can do is post on social media, drink your Shakeology, and do a workout, do that. I don't care if you go for a walk, whatever it is, do those 3 things and share on Facebook, because I don't know why, it just works. I'm just trying to tell you guys, if you do nothing else, you have to do those things, because it shows consistency. It shows you're a product of the product. You're walking the walk, and people will trust you. That doesn't mean that you can't slip up. That doesn't mean, you have to be perfect, but it shows that you're moving in the right direction, and you're not just like, I drink my Shakeology some days, but I don't, I don't know if that makes sense. But you'll also have disappointments in your life and in the business. People will quit, people will say mean things. And if you haven't experienced that, it's business, and you'll start questioning yourself. You'll start feeling like, is this really going to work for me? You'll start doubting. And again, it goes back to, you have to stay plugged into the team. You have to stay plugged into personal development, because you've got to work on that mindset. You've got to get stronger. And that's why when I say that I've come so far in 5 years, it's because of, 1, the ups and downs I've gone through, and 2, the personal development that I have read and listened to, and I have retrained my brain, and I have to keep doing it, because those negative voices keep coming back. It's not like you get to a place, just like weight loss. You don't get to a place and you're just like, I'm good, I got this, it's not hard anymore. You have to keep learning, you have to keep fighting, you have to keep growing. Okay, so you will have failures, and I think knowing that you're going to fail is just, it helps, because it's okay to fail. And that makes it so much sweeter when you have the success, when you have someone say yes. And hold on, I can't see this. I keep needing to move it. How do we move this? But I think it says a no is 1 step closer to a yes. So just remember that when someone tells you no, or someone ignores you, or someone backs out, you're just 1 step closer to someone who says yes, someone who's going to come into maybe the business, someone who you're going to change their entire life, maybe their entire family's life, like Joy Roan. Their whole family's legacy has completely been changed. Not only physically, I think they've lost 150 pounds altogether, but financially they are transformed. And those are the stories that we get to be a part of. So just remember, when you're afraid to reach out to someone, that's just somebody that you haven't become friends with yet or whatever. So just remind yourself of that. All right, so the compound effect. This was one of the very first books that I read as a coach, The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. And it, most people are like, well, this just makes sense because of but even though I knew it, I really needed to read it, because the compound effect is very, very real. And it really is those small little changes, just like we tell a client to stop, cut back on sodas. Well, they might cut back on sodas and they don't see a result for like 6 months, but in 6 months, they're really going to see a huge change. So it just takes time to see those changes. But over time, with consistency, you are building trust. So that's why it's so important for you to show up every day. If you can only show up on social media once a day, that's fine. Like, post at 8:30 at night, 9 o'clock at night, be consistent, show up, because you're building trust. We've all seen it. We've seen somebody who's in another company and they're all in, they're posting like every day, 3 times a day for like a week. And then boom, it's like a ghost town. They're gone. And then a month later, they're back. And you're like, where have you been? Like, I don't trust you. You're just going to ditch on me. So remember, people are thinking that. They're watching you. They want to know if you're going to quit on them. And they want somebody that's going to walk alongside them and work with them and not like disappear. I don't know. How am I doing on time? Oh, it's 9. Okay. All right. So the vitals, well, I didn't touch on that. So again, consistency on social media and consistency in your own journey. Again, it doesn't have to be you're always moving forward. Sometimes you slide back, but you're consistently working out. You're consistently working on your nutrition. You're consistently sharing success stories. Even if you aren't the person that's in charge of, none of us are in charge of someone else's success. They did it. Like, it's not even us. Because if we're in charge of their success, we're in charge of their failure. But share success stories. When you see like a client in your challenge group and they had like a success story, like make a little graphic or do a little shout out. You don't have to tell their name, but just post like, this girl in our challenge group, she had to buy new pants because they weren't fitting or something like that. Share those success stories because it builds trust in you as a coach, because they don't know that you didn't help that person. And that's what I did early on before I had my own stories, is I would share other people's stories. And I still share other people's stories, like other people in our challenge groups. So the vitals are very easy to do. They're not hard, but they are also just as easy not to do. So it's so easy to say, you know what, it's not a big deal. I don't have to do them today. Or it's okay, like, I haven't invited anybody all week, but it's not that big of a deal. And then before you know it, you've let go of your business and you've lost momentum and you have to start all over again. So I think a lot of people think, well, my life is busy, or you don't understand. But life happens to everybody. I have been through so much crap in the last 5 years. At one point, my daughter was hospitalized for 3 months, and I still built my business because it's a job. It's my business. It's my passion. I love this business. No, there was days I didn't want to do it. There was days I cried through workouts, but I showed up because I didn't want to go back to the life that I had before I started coaching. I remember what it was like to fight with my husband about money, to have to ask my mom for clothes for the kids, to ask my mom to help us pay for vacation, just to not be able to do the things I want to do. I like getting my hair done and going to the spa, and I know that's all vain, but I'm just being real. I like that stuff. I didn't want to go back to the life of scraping by and feeling like I wasn't accomplishing anything. So life happens to everyone. You're not the only one. You just have to overcome those excuses and find time. So momentum builds the big mo. And if you haven't read The Compound Effect, there's a story in it, and it's I always tell new coaches, but sorry guys, I was sick like a week ago. It's about the well. Like, when you go to a well, it's really hard to pump the well. So it's super hard at first, you're trying, it's like both hands, and then eventually after you've done it enough, the compound effect kicks in and momentum kicks in. They call it Big Mo. And before you know it, you got a little trickle, and then you have like this full flow of water, and then all you have to do is just do a little bit. So it's not as hard. And I'm not saying that you get to a point, hold on just a second. I got my sparkling water. I'm not saying you get to a point where you don't have to work hard. Like, I have to work hard too. But it gets a little bit easier, and you have the trust. So you've built trust with people, so it's not as hard. They're not rolling their eyes thinking you're just trying to sell them something because they trust you now. They know that you are genuine and you are real, and they know what you stand for, and they know you're not going anywhere. So Big Mo is super important. And if you get Big Mo and then you take a break, you have to fight like crazy, pumping that well to get right back to it. And it makes your job that much harder. So that was another reason why I never stepped back from my business, because I knew it would just be harder. So you can work this business part-time or full-time, but you cannot work it sometime. I mean, if you do, it's not going to pay you like a business. So that's just something to think about. All in doesn't mean all day, but you've got to find time to work your business. Whether that's 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, you've got to make the time for it. And I mean, everybody has the time. I mean, I know the busiest people that are building this business. I know I'm at home and I know I have lots of time, but I've seen people who are in school, who work full time, who have little kids, and they do it. So I know it's possible. It's all whether you want to do it or not. And I think it's all about how hard is your fight. And I just have to touch on this new girl. If you're not following her, her name is Taylor Leanne. And sorry, the dog. Her fight is amazing. Oh, are you guys? I don't know if y'all are talking to me. Oh, thanks. Of course. I'm so ADHD, like dog barking. And anyways, I have to give her a shout out. Her name is Taylor Leanne, and she is a brand new coach. And in her first month, she hit Emerald, and she's already added, I think, 5 or 6 new coaches, and it is her second month. And the reason is not because she has, it's not, she doesn't have the secret sauce. It is because she is a single mom and she has no plan B, and she wants to be home with her daughter, and she is fighting for her why. This is her way to be home with her daughter and her way to provide. And she is fighting and she is doing it. She's not just talking about it. She is doing it. And it just blows me away. I haven't seen somebody fight like this in a long time. I mean, talk about like, boom, she's just on it. Anyway, so if you're not following her, go and follow her, because she's just super inspiring and has a great story. So focus on the vitals. This is how you are going to build that consistency. And I know we talk about the same things over and over, but this is the foundation of our business. So again, the vitals are easy to do, but they are just as easy not to do. And you have to focus on these behaviors consistently. So I'm just going to touch on them. And again, you don't have to do all of these every day. I think when you're new, you should get in the habit of doing it. When I started, we didn't have a bat. I had a notebook. And I was told what to do. And I said, okay, personal development. Add 2 people wasn't on there. But this is basically the foundation of how I built my business. Personal development, either listening or reading. I added 2 people to my network every day. And I would write it down. Added so-and-so and so-and-so. And I liked writing it on a piece of paper because I could look back through the week and say, am I doing the activities that are going to move my business forward? If I wasn't getting the results, I could at least see if I was doing what I was supposed to do. So add 2 people to your network, invite 2 people to join you. It could be a free group. It could be a 10-day group. It could be whatever group you guys have coming up, a sneak peek. And you have to be sharing the business. So I recommend sharing the business 2+ times a week. And then following up with 2, being a product of the product, and posting on social media 3 times a day. I mean, those things, you could knock those out in like no time, and I'm just as guilty. We get on Facebook, we do the Facebook scroll, but if you really want to build this, if you just do that every single day, you would be amazed what your life will look like 2 years later or a year later. If you just dig in for a year, you're going to be like, wow, this is crazy. Like, how did this happen? So again, this is about relationships. Coaching isn't just it. So when I say invite, it could also be connecting. You're just connecting with people. You're starting conversations. You're engaging on their Facebook posts. You're messaging them, and don't prejudge someone. Don't assume that just because they're skinny or just because they're already working out that they don't need your help. And don't not invite someone because you're afraid of rejection. Because if you really care about them, then you'll share this with them, especially family. I see so many coaches like, I don't want to share this with my family and friends. I'm like, why? Do you not care about them? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. And I know it's hard because, I'm sorry, guys. I literally had to take antibiotics like a week ago. But I don't even know what I was saying. Okay, so I would recommend, like I said, have a notebook or follow up that as like a new coach business activity tracker, or if you're not a new coach, some sort of tracking system so that you can track your business. Like I tried Teamzy for a few months. I'm not knocking it. If it's working for you, great. I felt like it was a lot of busy work for me. I was taking a lot of my time and it wasn't working well for me. But I have tried so many different things and it's always changing. It's okay. It doesn't have to always be the same thing. You can keep changing things. Just don't get caught up in like that busy work. You know, well, I'm going to try this system and I'm going to spend 8 hours putting all my people in this system and then don't do anything with it. Just do something. Just start. Okay. All right. So again, don't get caught up in the busy work. I hope I'm not missing anything underneath here. All right. So how do you get results? So if you fail forward, because you're not going to have it all figured out, you're not going to know what you're doing. Like I still don't. I'll add new coaches and I'm like, I don't even remember what to do. I'm like, because no, humans are different. They're not all the same. We can't just do the exact same thing for everybody. It's not like there's a system. There are systems, but you know what I mean? Like you won't know everything and you will fail, and it's okay to fail forward. But if you do the vitals consistently over time, you will see results. So there's no secret sauce. I know I wanted the secret sauce for a really long time. The secret sauce is show up and do the work and do the vitals over and over and you'll see results. So I wore my Why Not Me shirt. You probably can't see, and I want you to ask yourself, why not you? That's what helped me at the very beginning. Was I was like, if they can do it, why can't I do it? And again, getting to live events is so important because we see people on social media and we think they have it all together, but then we see them in real life and we're like, oh, well, especially me. You see me and you're like, dude, you're a hot mess. Like if you can do this, I can do this. So you have to know that. Like if somebody else can do this, you can too. It all starts in mindset. So that's where PD comes from. And you are unique. You can reach people that only you can reach because they are going to want to work with you. You have something to offer that I don't have, and I have something that you don't have. And so there's millions of people. I think there's 1 billion people in the world. There are not too many coaches because not all of them are working. And it doesn't matter what anyone else is doing. It matters what you're doing. So if you want this to pay you like a business, you have to treat it like a business. You can't just like show up for work 2 days a week and then shut your business down for a month and then come back a week later. You know, like you have to be consistent. And when I talk to you, I want to go back. When I talk to you about those vitals, if you want to invite 10 people at the beginning of the week, go for it. Like sometimes I do that. Like, you know, if you want to like knock out most of your business like in one day and then just do your social media, there's nothing wrong with that, but you have to like every week be looking at and saying, am I inviting? Am I following up? Am I adding new people to my network? Because if you're not, your business is not growing. So Success Club is just a benchmark to measure if you are moving forward. Like people are not points, but Success Club really helped me to say, like I said earlier, I can do that. I can help 3 people. That's it. I can do that. Like that's not overwhelming to me. If I talk to enough people, I'll find 3 people who want to join me, who trust me, who will do this with me. And so Success Club, it also pushes you. So say you're at Success Club 4 and you're like, well, I'm good. It's going to push you to find one more person that you can help. So it's really helps me to push outside my comfort zone. And then you also, with Success Club, you start getting leads, and that's how your business moves forward even more because it really, that compound effect starts building. And 5 years later, this really sucks, sorry. It hasn't been bothering me like all day, but talking. 5 years from now, you're sitting here and you're looking at all these customers you have, and it's because of that compound effect. It just adds up a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, and it adds up over time. So if you want to be successful, Success Club needs to be non-negotiable. I'm not saying if you don't hit it, you can't be successful. That's not what I'm saying. But it needs to mentally be, I'm going to do the hard things to hit Success Club, to move my business forward, if I have to work harder, I'm going to work harder. It's not negotiable. If it's negotiable, you're not going to work hard. You're going to be like, you're going to get like a week before the end of the month and you're going to be like, I have 0. I'm not even going to try. I'll try next month. And that's not okay. I mean, I probably hit most of my numbers early on at the very end of the month. It was very, very hard for me. And I think it's probably hard for most people. Like, you're learning. No one starts out a professional. So you get better over time. You increase your skill set. You increase your closing rate. So I just want to see if somebody's, I don't know if anyone's talking. If y'all have a question, just unmute yourself. But okay. So when it's a tough month, like say it's December, and like December I know is usually going to be like November, December. So I invite way more people, and like I'll do a free group, and I really like, I just do a lot more stuff because it's not negotiable. I'm not going to fail. Like, I don't know, like it's just a thing for me. So I'm like, I'm going to work harder. And I'm not saying don't spend time with your family. I'm just saying work your business. So, all right. So again, if setting big goals scares you, like I didn't have a huge vision when I started. I just wanted to make a little bit of money because when I started, I saw $30. I actually had 2 customers, my mom and my aunt. And that was $60. And I was like, wow, I can go get a pedicure or something. Like, that's crazy. And I thought, okay, what can I do? I can hit Emerald. I can sign up 2 discount coaches. I can hit Emerald and I can hit Success Club. And that was my goal. So if you have a hard time setting a big goal, like saying, well, I want to make $20,000 a year or $100,000 a year, then start small. Because if you just focus on Success Club and you add 1 new coach a month, 1 to 2 new coaches a month, but I started with Success Club 5 and I added 1 new coach a month. That was my goal. And that's how I built my business. And again, it gets easier over time, but I still have months where it's hard. And I just have to try a little bit harder. It's not like it's just easy. All right, so I want you to do you. I want you to put your blinders on. I want you to not think about, say a new coach just came in and she's blazing. It doesn't matter. That's her journey. That's her fight. You have to worry about your fight. If you haven't figured out what you're fighting for, then you need to dig a little deeper, because obviously if you're not working your business, then you don't want it bad enough. Like, I'm not trying to be mean and I'm not cocky or arrogant or anything. Like, please know my heart. Like, I'm just telling you guys the truth because I see so much potential and I see people just like making excuses, and it really makes me sad. So, and it's not how fast you go. I say I'm not a rock star. I mean, I've accomplished a lot, but I'm not like Success Club 60 every month. I'm just slow and steady. I just keep showing up. I refuse to quit. My favorite quote is the Babe Ruth, what is it? I can't remember right now, but the one, it's hard to beat someone who doesn't give up, something like that. I'm just stubborn. And then compete. You are only competing with yourself. Ask yourself, is this the best use of my time? Facebook scroll, I'm guilty. But if you only have 15 minutes, you don't have time for that. You don't have time for chit chat. You don't have time to be liking things and commenting and you've got to stay focused, and you've got to get in the zone, and you've got to get it done. And then if you have time after that, then you can play and you can do the other stuff. But you have to make a decision that you will succeed no matter what, because why not you? And it really is. That is the secret sauce. Like, if you want to know the secret sauce, it's making a decision in your mind that this is going to work for you. And if you don't believe it, because again, I didn't believe it in the beginning. I thought, whoa, they said this will work. And so I faked it till I made it. Like they say, fake it till you make it. I was like, again, if they can do it, I can do it. I'm going to pretend I know what I'm doing. And I'm going to be this coach that I felt like I was not a coach. It's like, who's going to listen to me? And I faked it till I made it, until I believed in it. I borrowed the belief from Lisa and other coaches until I believed in myself. But you've got to tell yourself that there is no plan B. How long is this? Because if you have a plan B and you're like half in and half out, you're never going to fully commit, because you're just like, well, if it doesn't work out, then I'll just quit. So I challenge you to really dig in and focus on those vitals for 1 year. I know that sounds like a long time, but if you will just give it 1 year and be consistent, you won't recognize your life. And so I've already kind of covered some of this, but it still blows my mind that I've literally hit Success Club for 4.5 years. But how did I do that? I did a little bit and a little bit and a little bit, and it added up to a lot. So you have to focus on the behaviors that will help you to achieve that goal. And that goes back to the vitals. Slow and steady is what you want, because if you get consumed by the business and your family's suffering, and I'm not gonna lie, like I did that. Like I lost sight of my priorities early on, but my fight was strong. And I'm not saying it's okay, but I could have easily burnt out. So I just really challenge you to make sure your priorities are in line and that you don't burn out, because it's much better to go slow and don't quit, or slow and consistent than like fast and then quit, or not quit, but like fast and then take a break, and then fast and then take a break, because you're showing people that you're not consistent. And so you would rather just be slow and steady and show people that you're consistent and go at your pace. Like, don't let anybody else push you. Don't let anybody else, make you feel like I should be doing what she's doing. Because again, it's your fight, it's your journey, and it's all up to you. You get to decide how fast you move in this business. You want to move faster, you got to talk to more people. So I built my business by focusing on Success Club 5 and 1 new coach a month. Nothing crazy, and now my goals have shifted. Now I focus on Success Club 10, because now you get Shakeology leads, and I try to add 2 new coaches a month. But if it's a rough month, if there's a lot going on in my life, I might pull back a little bit. If there's emotions, that I'm dealing with that are difficult, Success Club 5 is non-negotiable. It's going to happen. I'm going to make it happen somehow. I will make it happen. I know that sounds harsh. People aren't numbers. So just when I'm talking to you about this, it just helps me, because this is my job. It just helps me to help these people. Otherwise, I would just be like, I don't feel like doing it. I'm sad. I'm just going to take a month off. But I'm like, there are people that need my help, so I'm going to find them. But again, I already kind of covered this. So, even when life is crappy, you have to make time for your business. If it's important to you, if you have goals, if you have a vision, if you have a why, if you don't make time for it, it's not going to happen. So, I think that's it. All right. So I'm going to stop this. And I know I was like a long time, and we can open it up for questions or comments or whatever. I'm like sweating. It's like
I love it. If you guys have a question, please unmute yourself, because you don't want to miss the opportunity to ask. But I'm telling you guys, first of all, Jennifer just needs to drop the mic. I mean, what's the saying? Like, tough love, it hurts, but at the same time, it's what will set you free. And I love how straightforward and just honest and true all of this is. There's no sugarcoating. And you know what? We're all big girls here. We don't need no sugarcoating. That is what it is. If you want to be successful, we help people. So I love that she's just, no, Success Club at least 5 is a non-negotiable. If she didn't have that as a non-negotiable, well, there's months that she just doesn't help anyone.
Yep.
So then what? Rachel, I've seen that. I don't know if you have it.
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy. If you guys have a question or anything.
Coaches are like, bah.
Anybody?
Aw, thanks, Catherine.
Do you know how to unmute yourself, Rachel?
There we go. Sorry, I unmuted one, but it didn't unmute. So, not so much a question, but like wanted to say just how awesome this was and how excited I am that I actually jumped on tonight. And I am with Lisa. You should just like drop it, because for real, it's like all up in your face. We all need it. We all need a reality check. I don't think you're being harsh, number one. I think you're being real. That's what we need. We need real people telling us how to act, how to do things, to encourage us. That's just the bottom line of it, for real. I mean, I needed it.
Oh God, that was my goal. I should have brought a mic.
You should have. Just like this.
Yeah, next time come with a mic. I love it, you guys. Well, thank you so much, Jennifer. Seriously, thank you so much for coming in here and sharing your heart, and for being real, and for giving us all a swift kick in the butt so that we can go out there and help people, you guys. Stop wallowing in your own, like, thoughts and everything else and go out there and help somebody else. That's what it's about. And in the meantime, while you push yourself past that, that's how you grow.
Yeah.
It's crazy how that happens.
And you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. So just talk to people. When you're out and about, meet people, add them to your network. I mean, I could have talked about, but we'd have been here all night, but I bleed Beachbody blue. Like,
Yeah,
I'm sure you
that's
do
true.
too.
You guys, and it shows. It
All
shows.
right. Well,
And I
thanks.
am so sorry that we just recognized before this call that yesterday was your 5-year anniversary, but we got to celebrate that sucker.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
I've got a post about it. That's crazy.
Yeah, seriously. I'm glad I looked before the call because I wanted to give the exact, but congratulations, girl. All right, you guys have a great night. This call will be up soon. Make sure you tag all your coaches. They want to hear this.
All right. Good night.
All right,
Thanks for coming. Bye.
Bye-bye.